A Thunder Report from 107.7 The Franchise.
Greetings, Thunder fans. I'm David Garrett along with Colby Daniels of the Mid-Morning Maze on The Franchise with this Franchise Thunder Report. Oklahoma City advances to round 2 of the Western Conference playoffs with a 120-109 victory tonight over the Memphis Grizzlies. Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook were themselves. And Colby, is that all it took? Just hitting shots?
Well, I think you've got to give Scott Brooks a little credit in Game 6. He changed the lineup, and that seemed to do some different things for this offense. Obviously, when you have two of the superstars of this league hitting shots, 22 of 34 tonight, things are going to get a lot better. But Kevin Durant noticeably, I think, a little bit more calm and eased. He had a sense of ease about him pregame, and that showed on the floor.
I think the Thunder learned that they could win in several different ways, and I don't think that they knew that before this series.
Yeah, you've had them fight games out defensively. You saw like tonight they knocked down a bunch of shots. They've been able to do it in different ways, and when you're in the playoffs, you have to figure out ways to get it done.
All right, let's go to the podium now. We start off with Oklahoma City coach Scott Brooks.
Well, first I just want to start off by just acknowledging Memphis Grizzlies. I thought Coach Joerger and his staff did a great job preparing them. I know they were down a man, but they fought. They had that next man mentality step up, and we knew going into this series it was going to be a heck of a series. Just like I said before the game, this team has played some of the best basketball since Gasol has been back. But give our guys credit. Going into this game, we knew that they were going to be down a man. They were going to play with some different lineups. We were prepared to play against whatever they were throwing at us, and I thought our guys did a good job. Serge did a good job on Allen in that first quarter. Unfortunately, we gave them a lot of opportunities in transition with our turnovers. I think we had 9 turnovers in that first quarter. But in that third quarter, they came back out with that lineup, and I thought we did a good job. But now it's on to the next series. Our staff has been focusing on Golden State and Los Angeles Clippers. Looking forward to watching the game tonight and then preparing for whoever we play.
Coach, Michael Kenny, Norman transcript. You kept saying throughout the series that the shots at some point were going to fall. Just what is it about Game 7 that you believe that your team seems to be able to rise to that occasion and get those shots to finally go down?
Well, one, Russell loves Game 7s. Last time we had a Game 7, I think he had a triple-double against this team. We do things every day, and we work on our game every day. And some days your shots are not going to fall. I've said this many times in this series. 4 overtime games. That's been a heck of a series. Looking back at it, that makes me most proud of this series is we didn't shoot the ball well, but we didn't put our head down and stop defending. We were giving ourselves a chance by keeping them in the low 40s and putting it into overtime without shooting. We were shooting in the 30s. And our 2 best players did not shoot the ball well, but knowing how they prepare, how they work, and how we work as a group, it was going to turn sooner or later.
Nick Alithunder@me.com. Coach, you look like Russ was really directing traffic out there, picking out shots for his guys. What did you see from him as a floor general tonight? Well,
his defensive tenacity was the start of it. We wanted to defend tonight, and his athleticism and his power on the defensive end helps. He was pursuing. He got a couple. He had the block. I think he might have had. I think he had the one block from behind. But his rebounding impacts us. But he's one of the best at his position, and he creates a lot of opportunities for us and himself. And I thought he had a great balance tonight.
Barry Tram with the Oklahoma, Scotty. Playing Memphis is always a difficult assignment just because the way they play and they wear you out. And apart from just advancing, is it just good to get them in the rearview mirror and you don't have to mess with them anymore?
Well, we knew going into the series that by the seeding they were 7th, but they were as good as any team in the West. They have 2 big-time players down low, and they have a really, really good point guard, an all-star level point guard. and they grind you out. They pound the ball, and they just keep coming at you with their physicality. But I give our guys credit. They stepped up and matched it. We have multiple players that can battle with them. And I thought Stephen gave us some good play the last couple of games. Nick didn't play tonight, but he's done his part during this series, and that's what makes our team a good team. The coach, we have guys that will sacrifice for one another, and like Tabo and Nick did not play tonight, but they were a big part of the series, and they're going to be a big part of the next series.
Darnell Mayberry, Oklahoma. Scott, what was the difference between in Kevin's offense, game 6 and 7?
What was the difference between 6 and 7?
No, in Kevin's offense in games 6 and 7.
What's the difference?
5 compared to last year.
From games 2 through 5.
Oh, okay. I thought you said
6 to
6 and
7.
7.
Yeah.
They're pretty close to 6 and 7. Making shots. Kevin, I mean, it's you go through some stretches, and every season you're not going to make shots, but he was defending, he was rebounding, and sooner or later he's one of the best players on the planet. He's going to continue to help us win games and move us forward, not only for his shot making but his play making. He's an assist guy, he's a rebounder. Just having him on the floor helps us score. Tony Allen's a great defender. That's nothing to everybody knows that. And going into the series, we knew that we wanted to make sure we free him, get him off of him. And I thought Kevin, as the series went along, he did a better job of his setups and got better opportunities for himself.
Scott, David Garrett, 107.7 The Franchise. Did you learn or discover something about your team in this series you didn't already know?
Well, I know that they're going to keep fighting. I know that we have a resilient group that loves to compete. We don't like to lose. We always try to figure out ways to get better. We're not mistake-free, but our effort is right on. And I love coaching this team because of that. I like guys that compete. I don't want to be around, and we don't have guys that don't compete. Sam has brought in 15 competitors, and that's what happens. Our days off are not days off. Guys come in the gym, get work in.
Scott, Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoman. In the first quarter, Russ had 4 turnovers. The rest of the game, only 3. Dave brought up the point that he was aggressive without being out of control. Did something flip with him between those early minutes and the rest of the game?
Well, I think the 4, I thought 2 of them were his, and then 2 of them were we weren't in the right space, and the court was shrinking while he was attacking, and we want a space when he's attacking. And I thought we did a better job in that second half. We talked about that during a couple of our timeouts, and you just have to continue to talk about those things. It's a thing that we talk about with our guys. Space the floor, set good screens, and we can attack and create difficult situations for our opponent because they have to make tough decisions. And I thought Russell was fantastic throughout the game, and he's been a great leader for a lot of years, and he stepped up once again tonight.
Scott, Brent Weber, KOSU.
Brent.
Looking forward, I guess this isn't one of those where somebody's been sitting at home for a week. At least both teams will not have a lot of time to get ready, good or bad.
Well, both staffs, I'm assuming, I just know what we're doing. We've been preparing for both teams, and we still have to prepare for both teams going into tonight. And then once we know who we're playing, and we'll get it done, and we'll meet with our group tomorrow at 2 and go over our game plan and get ready for them Monday night. We will be ready. We're looking forward to the next round. Just like the first round, it's the first of 4.
Kevin Kosminski, News9.com. Coach, you guys, the last 2 games, it seems like the energy level seemed different, but it almost was like an anger. It was like a ferocity that your team played with. Second half, they just weren't letting up at all. What have you noticed? Is there anything changed? The demeanor changed at all? I mean, does it seem like they've sort of found their rhythm again? It's a long season. You talk all the time about that. Sort of they found that rhythm?
Well, I think it's simple that when you play against a physical team, you have to stay with what you do. And they like to take a lot of shots late in the shot clock. We wanted to play with a bit of more pace. we weren't making shots while we were playing with pace, so it didn't look good at times. But we were still competing on the defensive end. It shifted when we started making some shots. The pace didn't look as bad. At times we were frantic, out of character, and out of making bad decisions. But when you make the shots, and we did that the last two games, the defense was there also. I thought our defense to start the game was really good, other than that we had the 9 turnovers led to, I think, 11 fast break points.
Last question from Scott John Hoover, the Tulsa World. You got a couple of elite performances, obviously, from Russ and Kevin after they had gone through some ups and downs. But you also had, back-to-the-wall performance by Reggie when those guys were down. You had a win when you made massive changes to the lineup. Seemed like you guys won a lot of different ways. You won 4 games a lot of different ways in this series.
I think that's what NBA playoffs are about. Everybody has to step up. You're not going to have the same blueprint every night. You're not going to have the same shots every night. I'm not going to have the same decisions every night. But I like the fact that everybody has to sacrifice. I thought Nick and Tabo, like I said earlier, they've sacrificed. Nick hasn't played tonight. Tabo didn't play the last 2 games, but they were preparing themselves to help us whenever we would have needed them, and they were always engaged. But Reggie's done a good job. Fish has stepped up. They've all stepped up. Serge has had good minutes. Perk has played very well. He's had a lot of good moments for us.
Congratulations to Oklahoma City. Played a good series. They had great performances tonight, and as they did throughout the series, they made a lot of shots. My hat's off to them. They've got the guys that can really score the basketball. They're well coached, and tonight, Russ and Kevin Durant were just absolutely fantastic. And once they got it flowing, they shoot 11 for 19 from 3. It seemed like we made them, take some tough shots, and they made some tough shots. So it's hard to go on the road. I'm really, really proud of our team. Not about just Game 7 or the series, but as far as the season goes, for the things that we've overcome to come in on the West and to win 50 games, starting back in December when we were 10 and 15, and then we're 15 and 19, and we just kept coming and coming and coming. I didn't think tonight was any different. We kept coming and coming, and we played till the final horn. And I couldn't be prouder of our ball club. I wish Oklahoma City the best of luck going forward. Questions?
Coach, right here, Zach McCright, 107.7 The Franchise in Oklahoma City. Can you explain exactly how much the loss of Zach Randolph affected you tonight, and if there was a direct correlation between Games 6 and 7, the 2 losses, that something Oklahoma City did or something you didn't that caused you to lose both of those games?
Durant made a lot of shots. He came out and gets 14 points in Game 6 in the first quarter, gets rolling. Obviously, not having Zach affects our team. We don't play the way that we played tonight. We don't play that style, but we thought that gave us the best chance to win. And so, I don't think the 2 games are very similar at all, except that, Durant made a bunch of threes. He was 5 for 5. He's struggled from the 3-point line a little bit, but he really got going, which I think he did Game 7. The last time we played them too, I think he was like 5 for 7 or 6 for 8. So, once he catches in transition, he gets a couple free ones. He starts flowing pretty well, and he made some tough shots. But he was aggressive.
Coach, Michael Kenny, Norman transcript. Can you just talk a little bit about the defense the Thunder put out there, especially after you were able to make a run and take the lead? What did they do in the second quarter to be able to get back in front of you?
They scored a bunch in the second quarter. I thought they made a lot of shots.
Anthony Slater with Oklahoma. When they hit threes like that, 11 and 19, like you mentioned, Durant 5 5, are they indefensible when they?
Well, there's a reason they're.
Like
Yeah, I mean they're one of the elite teams in the league. So they've got great talent, and they like playing. Durant came over one time, and he's like, "This is fun. It is fun. It's good, high-level competition." And they've got great talent, and we played our tails off, and we just didn't have enough.
Hey, Dave, Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoman. You've spoke very highly of Russell throughout this series, but these last 2 games, he seemed to really control the game offensively for them. Did you see something change in him, just the way he really controlled these last 2 games?
I have no idea why he takes the flack that he takes. This man can play. He's one of the most talented people in the league. It's unfathomable. How about that one? Unfathomable. That he takes. I don't understand. He was aggressive. Without being out of control, and so he was able to find some guys on the perimeter hit him in the hands, and guys felt comfortable shooting those shots and made shots. And I thought he did a nice job. The thing he doesn't get enough credit for is he's a heck of a defender, and he can get guys in boxes that are a little smaller than he is, as good of an athlete as he is, and he really starts their defense for him when with his pressure.
Coach Brent Weber, KOSU, Oklahoma City. Some would say, well, there's the blueprint. Memphis, again, shows how to play Oklahoma City, but the guys you have buy in to make that work. Why can't other teams follow what Memphis does?
Well, we're built a little differently, too. We play offensively, we play slow because of our bigs, and that's the first part of setting up your defense, is trying to get a shot that you're getting from where you get it on the floor. But we also have some unbelievable to watch Tony Allen. We should talk about it before the series, but if you just watched him and Durant and how they tussle and how he never gets screened, there's a beauty to that in a certain way, and he does it as well as anybody. He played at such a high level. Some of those guys like that, Marcus All, kind of directing traffic for us and telling everybody where everything is at, and I'm really proud of our guys.
Martin Patton Fox in Oklahoma City. Could you explain, just kind of talk about how Caron Butler going to the starting lineup, how that changed things for you? I know you didn't shoot well tonight, but did that change how you had to defend the Thunder?
No, didn't change one thing. Durant comes out and scores 14 in Game 6 in the first quarter, and everybody wants to talk about it being changing the starting lineup. I thought it had zero to do with anything. What it had to do with was Kevin Durant was aggressive and just said, you know what, I've had enough.
Barry Trammell with the Oklahoman. When Russell and Kevin play like this, especially the high percentage of shots, when you need one of them to be off, if they go 22 or 34, whatever it was, it seems like Oklahoma City's very tough to beat. Is that true?
Yeah, no question. And when you're the opposing team's coach and you're looking at the shooting percentages that these two guys are putting up, but it's coming. And in the last two games they've really made shots, and they've made big shots, and they also made shots when we had a chance. When we were kind of making a run, they answered back really well. Getting to the foul line is a big deal for them. He got 15 of them the other night, and that was really, that helps his game a lot, and it helps their game a lot. Certainly it sets their defense up going back the other way.
Coach, without Randolph, you started small with Mike Miller, and then in the second half it seemed like you kind of went half big with John Lure. What was the thinking of not sticking with the small ball lineup and then just kind of going halfway with it? That is a small ball lineup for us. We consider John Lure a 3.5. So he was essentially our stretch guy. So we didn't. I don't think outside of that we didn't play another big together with Marc Gasol.
Time for a few more. Dave, you've now finished your first year as head coach in the NBA. How are you going to remember this particular group?
That's a great question. We stuck together. That's what I'll remember, the camaraderie, the moment in Houston where we lost. I think James Harden shot 25 free throws that game. We were down, we're disappointed, and the moment that in the locker room that night was, if we play this hard, we're going to get back in this race, and that's probably the moment that I'll remember. We lost a close game. It's just it doesn't matter about the game, but that's kind of the moment where things turned for us, and we just kept marching forward and believing in each other. And for us, it's a team deal. It really is. If we're going to be successful at a high level, everybody's got to play well and together. And I think what we've done after January 1st, those guys should be very proud. They have nothing to hang their heads about, and I'm really proud of them.
Did Marc Gasol get worn down in the second half? I think he was 6-11 in the first half. He was up 7 of 20.
Yeah.
David Garrett, 107.7 The Franchise. Would you talk about Mike Conley and his guts and playing the way he did in the game tonight? Absolutely.
He decided he was going to play no matter what after the game, Game 6, and he just said, there is no tomorrow. I don't care. I'll get it right. Whatever I have to do to play. And he's been so good for us. He's put us on his shoulders in tough stretches during the season, and he wants to be a system guy and a setup guy and running everything, and he stepped up out of his comfort zone and became our leading scorer this year for a large part of the season. I think maybe Zach got him at the end of the year, but for him to do that, knowing that that's what the team needed because Marc Gasol was out, because Tony Allen was out, that helped us get to 50 wins, helped us get in the playoffs. So he's had a tremendous season. I think he still has room left in his game to grow, and I'm looking forward to hoping that he can get there. That's it. I will say this. All of you guys that are local, and certainly the national guys, we love coming here. You guys treat us so well. It's a first-class organization. Everybody here treats us so great. So best of luck to you guys, and appreciate you. That's what they say in the South. Appreciate you.
Russell, Michael Kennedy, Norman transcript. Russ, Coach said that you love Game 7s. Why is that?
I don't want to go home. You fought too hard to get to this point. I mean, we were down, lost home court when they won a game, and we fought too hard to put ourselves in position to come back home in front of our fans to let them down.
Anthony Slater with Oklahoma. Kevin, both combined to go 7 of 7 from 3 after struggling from deep early in the series. Did you feel like one of these games was coming?
Yeah. I mean, the games before, we shot a lot of walk-up threes, deep ones. But I think Russell set everybody up tonight, and I was able to hit some. I think all threes I hit were wide open, and he set me up on all of them, and just try to stay disciplined with my shot and stay confident, and because it's going to come around. So I think everybody did a great job of just getting everybody open, moving their bodies, moving the basketball, and we found a good shot.
Kevin, Zach McCright, 107.7 The Franchise in Oklahoma City. Was there a difference that you could tell in your own game when your team faced elimination, Game 6 and Game 7, compared to the rest of your series?
Yeah, I got out my own way. I was thinking too much. I was worried about what you guys were saying. I was worried about, what shots I was going to shoot throughout the game. I was just thinking too much, and the game of basketball is played off of instincts. And I realized that I started playing this game to have fun, and I didn't want to take the pure fun out of the game by just thinking too much. So I just released everything and enjoyed it. And I know if I, play as hard as I could and put the work in for my team, the results were going to show. But I just forgot everything and just played my game.
Barry Tram with the Oklahoman. For both of you guys, Memphis is a meat grinder of a team to have to play 7 games over 2 weeks. In some ways, is this good whatever you face in the future, is it good preparation to going forward to play a team that just challenges you in every way?
Well, I mean, you got to give credit. Memphis is a unbelievable ball club. Well coached, did a great job of mixing things up, making it tough for myself and Kevin. And we're going to be ready, recover tonight, and get our minds ready for the next series.
Britt McHenry, ESPN. Kevin, you said you were able to get out of your own way. You were worried about what we were saying. Coincidentally, that huge shift happened when all of that ramped up. How did you tune that out for these last 2 games the way that you did?
Well, I didn't do it on my own. I had so many people that were there supporting me that always gave me words of encouragement every single day after tough games. And you guys motivated me a little bit, even though I told you didn't. I just wanted to, I really looked at all my guys in their eyes and didn't want to let them down. I know they didn't think of it that way, but I didn't want to let them down, and I just wanted to play as hard as I could, no matter what. If I was 0 for 20 or 20 for 20, I just wanted to play extremely hard for my team and gut it out. Our backs were against the wall, but we showed a lot of character as a team, and I just wanted to be a big part of it, and we're moving on. So it's good to enjoy this one tonight, but tomorrow we got to get focused.
Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoman. For both of you guys, can you just talk about Russ's impact tonight? Dave Joerger said it was aggressive without being out of control. And Kevin, can you talk to what his play meant? And Russ, can you talk about just how you felt out the game tonight?
Just trying to find a balance of giving my teammates the balls and also staying aggressive. I mean, that's a tough thing to do at my position, and my teammates done a great job of spacing out, making shots, making it easy for me to see where my reads were, and being able to get them shots.
Well, I think that he just played aggressive all night. I got on him a few times for passing up shots, but I think he pick and choose his spots very well tonight. He's getting everybody involved, rebounding the basketball. But when we needed baskets, he was aggressive enough to get to the rim and to make his pull-up jump shot. And, he just played a full game tonight and, a few turnovers here and there, but he was aggressive to make the right play. But, he was great tonight. His enthusiasm and leadership was on another level, and it was good to see. It's great for Game 7.
Anthony Slater with Oklahoma. Russell, 4 3-point attempts the last 2 games after 38 the first 5. Was it a concerted effort to kind of play differently these last 2 games?
Definitely, man. I was shooting too many. Like Kevin said, we were shooting too many walk-up threes, off the screen, and that's what they wanted. And I just looked at film and seeing where I can find open ones, and when Kevin drive, those are the ones I would take. And I'll just stay attacking the basket and try to get my teammates involved.
Darnell Mayberry, the Oklahoma. Kevin, you talked about not thinking as much and going back and having fun, but what does getting out your own way look like on the court?
Just playing free. I'm calm and playing with that peace. Just moving on from play to play, not dwelling so long on the previous plays. And this game is more than half mental. It's probably 60 or 70% mental. Because we got the physical part down, but I was thinking too much and worried about different things on the court and how I can score and where my shots are going to come from, rather than just playing hard and letting the game come to me and keeping it simple. And I learned a valuable lesson in this series. It was great for me. It was nerve-wracking, but it was fun to be a part of.
Do you feel like this can carry over? I mean, you got a quick turnaround. Do you feel like this can carry over in the second round?
I hope so. I'm always going to put the work in. I'm just going to always rely on my teammates and my coaches to help me get better and just play my game. And whatever happens, it happens. And I know I'm going to put the work in and prepare the right way. And, so hopefully we see some good results.
Kevin Kosminski, News9.com. You guys talked a little bit about having fun again. It seemed like when you guys got rolling, shooting, it's a contagious thing. Everybody starts hitting shots. And, Scott was in here talking about it. It's really not. It's pretty simple. Shots started going in and we look better. Is the team sort of confidence risen now as a unit and saying now we're back, now we got rolling again?
I think with Russell and myself being leaders, they feed off of our energy, and I think last 2 games we start the game off. We set the tone on the defensive end, being physical, getting into the ball, rebounding, and our teammates followed. And then on the offensive end, we just trusted each other, and the shots started to fall. We realized if we pass the ball and trust each other even more, those shots we were missing early on, we're going to start to fall. So we got a long ways to go. We got to keep getting better in those areas and stay conscious of, playing with that sense of urgency to start the game. But as leaders, we have to be consistent with that every single night.
Nick Galathunder, they changed their lineup late, kind of switched up their style from what they were playing. How did you guys kind of get past that to make those big pushes in the second quarter and the third quarter?
No, just playing our game. Coach told us, regardless of who they put on the floor, we got to come out and play Thunder basketball. And I thought, everybody did a great job of coming in and doing their role and knocking shots down.
Myron Fox in Oklahoma City. You guys had some turnovers in the first quarter, but you trimmed those down the remaining 3. Was there some nervous energy coming out in a Game 7, you think? Trying to get it down early?
Well, nervous. I mean, just, trying to make the right play, but too early. Those are all my fault, just trying to, find my teammates, but, just a little too early. In the second half, I slowed down just a little bit, and I was able to get it to him.
Yeah, Barry Trim with the Oklahoma. Kevin, you two went 22 of 34 combined from the field. How difficult are you to beat when you guys play at that kind of level at the same time on the same night?
When we just, when we shooting the shots, we want to shoot into our spots. We practice that day in and day out all year long, and we trust in it. So once we get to our spots, we feel confident that we can knock them down, and then both of us being playmakers, we can get our teammates involved as well. So just cutting hard and making playing with a lot of force on the offensive end allows us to knock those shots down. So we can't come out and play too nonchalant and think that you're gonna make those shots. So we got to continue to play with that force and that speed, and it's gonna open it up for everybody.
That's Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. Russ joins Rajon Rondo as the only 2 players in NBA history to score a triple-double in Game 7 of a playoff series. Quite an accomplishment. All right, it's on to a Monday date against an opponent we don't know yet. Don't you think it'll be more difficult to scout the Thunder now that they've rolled out several different ways to win?
Yeah, I mean, this is a team that's already incredibly difficult to defend when you have role players stepping up like Caron Butler did in this series. And I like the aggressiveness he's played with. There's so many different angles they can beat you. The depth, obviously, and Brooks talked about it tonight in the postgame. Players are sacrificing. And when you have guys doing what's best for the team, obviously, that's going to lead to team success.
All right, Colby, good job. You can catch Colby along with Kara Rice and Sam Mays on the Mid-Morning Mays, mornings from 9 to noon, right here on The Franchise. Thanks for watching this Thunder Report. I'm David Garrett for 107.7 The Franchise.